Hello and welcome back to the channel, and in today's video we will cover Linux terminal commands, and we already covered few in the previous video. You can find the link for last video in the description, and I have already created a separate playlist for Linux, and this is the second video in that playlist, and I will try to cover as many commands as I can in today's video, and we'll cover and continue the remaining commands in the next video. So let's start with the first command for today. So first command is VI. VI stands for Visual Instrument. It's a text editor, and this command is used to create a new file or edit an existing one. And its syntax is VI space options space file name. So before we learn how to use this command, uh, let's know what in which two modes this command works. This command works in two modes, two operation modes. One is command mode and other is insert mode. So command mode first. The VI editor by default opens in this mode, and this mode only understands command. And in this mode, you can move the cursor and cut and copy paste the text, and you can also save the changes. And the command, and always note, commands are case sensitive, so you should use the right letter case. So let's begin and see how we can use this command. So right now we are in opt directory. Let's try to create a file here. Vi, let's give file name test1.txt. Enter. So this is command mode. Here you can just copy and paste the text. You cannot insert the text. So let's try and copy something. Let's say, let's try to copy something. Let's copy this text and paste here. So I pasted the text here, and now let's save this file. So to save this file, you have to use the command escape, then colon WQ and exclamation and enter. And if you do not want to save the file, then just press escape colon Q. Q stands for quit, exclamation. So for now, let's save this. Colon WQ exclamation enter. And now if you want to see the content of this file, cat file name. Here you can see the content. This is the content which we entered, right? Now let's try to open this file again. Vi test1.txt. Now let's try to go in operation insert mode. To go to into insert mode, you have to press I. Now you can see here, it's an insert mode. Now you can type your content here. Let's type hello world. That's it. Similarly, to save this, we have to press escape. Escape means now it is in command mode. Now you can just give it command. So command is colon WQ exclamation. So now we have saved the file. Now if you want to see the content of this file, you have to use the command cat file name, enter. So now you can see the content which we just entered, hello world. So this is how you can operate the text editor in two modes, command mode and insert mode. There are many other shortcuts also available. So let's try some of the common shortcuts. Let's go back to the file vi test1.txt. So some of the shortcuts we already learned. I is to switch to insert mode, escape, switch to command mode, and if you want to save a file, just save the file and continue editing, then you have to use the command :w. And if you want to save and quit, :wq exclamation. And if you just want to quit without saving the file, then :q exclamation. And other option which we can use is yy. We can use to copy a line. So let's say we are here and I press yy. So I have now copied it. Now if you want to print it, then you have to use the option P. Let's press P. See, I have copied it. How I did it? First you have to go to command mode. You have to, and then you have to press yy to copy that line. You just move the cursor where you want to copy, and then move the cursor to the place where you want to paste, then press P. And if you want to delete the entire line, you have to use the option DD. So I am pressing DD. It deleted. And if you want to display the current line's line number, for example, right now my cursor is on line number 2, and if you want to display the line number, then the option is :NUM enter. So it is showing line number 2, hello world. So there are many more options available, but these are the ones which are most commonly used. I for insert, escape to switch to command mode, :W to save and continue editing, :WQ exclamation to save and quit, and :Q exclamation just to quit, YY to copy, P to paste, DD to delete, and :num to display the current line number. So these are the options, and always remember these commands will work if you are in command mode, not in insert mode, command mode. And also a more feature-rich implementation of VI named VIM, which stands for VI improved, is also available now, and we will discuss about this some other day. Now let's move to our next command, which is cat, which I already showed you that it is used to show the contents of a file. So now let's save and quit this file. And if you want to see the so cat command. Cat stands for concatenate. It reads data from the file and gives their content as output. It helps us to create, view, and concatenate files. So first is to view the content of a file. So let's try to see the content of file test1.txt. So here are the contents of this file. Two lines, this one and this one. So syntax of this command is cat options file name. Cat, there will be some options which we will discuss, and file name. This is the general syntax. Cat file name to read the content of a file. Now if you want to see content of multiple files, let's try to create a one more file, test2.txt. Let's try to enter some content here. Hi, how are you today? So this is the content. Let's save this. Now if you want to see content of multiple files together, let's try to see content of test1.txt and test2.txt. Enter. Now if you can see content of both the files. This belongs to file 1 test1.txt and this belongs to second file test2.txt. So this is how we can see content of multiple files. If there are 3 files, you can see content of 3 files also. You just have to mention the name of third file. Now what other options are available with cat command? If you want to view contents of a file proceeding with line numbers, let me show you. Cat -n test1.txt. So now the content is proceeding with the line number. So in test.1.txt we have 2 lines and line numbers are showing against those 2 lines. So this is how we can see content with preceding line numbers. Also, we can use cat command to create a file. Just like vi, we can also use cat to create a file. So syntax for that is cat, this symbol greater than, then name of the file you want to create. Let's try to create a file 2.txt. It's test3.txt. Now here you have to insert your text, whatever you want to. Let's put I am learning Linux commands. Now so we have entered I am learning Linux command. If you want to see content of this file, test3.txt, I am learning Linux command. So this is how we can create a file also using cat command. Now suppose you want to copy the content of one file to another file. Copy the content of one file to another file. So we can use cat command for that also. So the syntax is cat space name of the file whose content you want to copy, and then greater than sign, name of the file to which you want to copy. press enter. So we copied the content of test1 to file test2. But always remember, if the file, if the destination file we mentioned does not exist, the command will create it. And if the destination file is present, then it will be overwritten. So in this case, test1 content will be copied to test2 because it already exists. Suppose test2 was not there, then test2.txt file will be created. So now let's see the content of test2 file now. Cat test2.txt. Now test2 is overwritten. So now test2 does not have the content which it used to have earlier. Now it has the content of file test1. If you want to see the content of test1, you can see they have same content because test2 file has been overwritten by the content of test1 file. Suppose you want to append the content of one file to another file without overwriting the content which file already has, then how you can do it? You have to use one option, which is cat test1. You have to use this symbol twice now, and then test1.txt and then destination file. Let's copy this content to test3 file now. So test3.txt file content was I am learning Linux commands. So let's see what happens now. Enter. Now let's see what is the content of test3 file now. Dot. If you can see, it still has its content which it was having earlier. I am learning Linux command, and now two more lines has been added from the file test1.txt. Sorry. So this is how we can append the content of one file to another file without overwriting its current contents. Now there is one more option, which is concatenating files. Suppose you want to concatenate two files and creating a third file out of it. So the syntax for that is cat name of the first file test1.txt and second file test2.txt, and now you want to concatenate these two files and move their content to new file. Let's create a new file, combined file.txt. Press enter. So now we concatenated the content of test1 and test2 and copied it to a new file name, combined file.txt. Right? Now let's see what is the content of combined file.txt. If you can see, it has concatenated the content of both the files. So this is how we can concatenate two files also. So this covers our cat command. Now next command is tar. Tar stands for tape archive, and this is used to create archive or extract the archive. Means create a tar file or untar a file. This command helps creating, extracting, and listing archive contents. The utility is simple and has many helpful options for compressing files, managing backups, or extracting a raw installation. Usually, whenever you download a installation file from internet, usually either it is in zip or a tar form, right? So you can untar that file. So the syntax for tar file, tar command is tar operation mode options. We'll discuss about options also, and then archive file, and then location where you want to create that archive or unarchived file. So the let's see how we can do that. Before we discuss, let's go back to syntax again and try to understand what is operation mode, what is options, what are the options, what is archive means here, and what files or locations means here. So operation mode indicates which operation executes on the files like creation, extraction, etc. And the command allows and requires only one operation. So whenever you are using tar command, either you can extract from it or archive it. Means either you can tar it or you can untar it. So these are the two operation modes only available. And now second option, second thing is here options. Options modify the operation mode and are not necessary. They're not required. You can put if you want to manipulate the operation mode in some way, and there is no limit on the number of options. You can use multiple options together also. And the other thing is here archive. The archive is the file name and extension. Suppose you want to archive a folder abc, so here you will mention abc.tar, and then is files or locations. The files is a space separated list for extraction or compression or wildcard matched name. So let's try to understand this with an example. Let's create a folder first to which we will try to tar. So we are in OPD directory. Let's try to create a folder here. Tar example. So we created a directory tar example. Now let's go to this directory. Let's switch to this directory. Now let's create a file here. Let's create a file sample.txt. Oh, sorry. We are creating a file, so we have to put this symbol. Now let's enter some text. Hi, I am a sample file. Okay, so we created a directory with the name tar example, and then under tar example we created a file sample.txt. Now we want to tar this file, tar example. We want to tar this folder. So what we have to do? Let's go back to the root folder, the home directory, OPT. And now the command is tar. To create an archive, we have to use option C. And if you want to see the verbose information, you have to use the option V. And if you want to create an archive with given file name, you have to use the option F. Now space. Let's give this tar a name. Tar example dot tar. And now we have to give the name of the folder to which we want to tar. That was tar example. So we are tarring tar example as tar example dot tar. Press enter. So tar example has been tarred. If you want to see the content of OPT folder now, you will be able to see this tar file now. Now you can see here. This was the folder and we tarred it, and now it is tar example dot tar. Correct? So this is how we can tar a file. If you want to see the content, archive contents of a tar file, suppose you want to see the content of this tar file, you can see that also. So the command is tar space hyphen t. T is the option which can be used to see the content of a archive file, and F is used if you want to give the name of the archive file. So we created a tar example.tar file. Now if you want to see the content of this file, now you can see it has a folder tar example, and under tar example it has a file sample.txt. Correct? So this is how we can see content of a tar file. Now suppose you want to untar this. Correct? The syntax for this is, let's remove this first. Rm tar, we have removed, sorry, rm, because it contains some content inside it, so we have to use option recursive, which we already discussed in our last video. So now if we list this folder, so now it has only tar file, no more parent folder which was tarred. So now if you want to untar this, the option is we have to use the command tar space hyphen x. X is to extract, C was to create. So now we are extracting a tar file. X. Now same V for verbose. F if you want to give name of the file. So tar example dot tar. Now if we list again OPT folder, we'll be able to see that extracted file. Tar example has been extracted from tar example.tar. So this is how we can tar and untar a file. And the options we used were -C to create archive, -X to extract the archive, -F creates archive with given file name, and Hyphen T we use to display or list files in archive file, to see the content of an archive file, and V to display verbose information. So this is how we can use tar command. The next command we are going to learn today is add user. The add user command in Linux creates a new user or a group. And the syntax is add user options username. Correct? Let's go back and try to learn this command. Let's create a user JK, a normal user. So we created a user. Okay, JK already. Okay, I already used this name earlier. So let's give some other name. Add user test user. So we created a test user. So this is how we can create a user. Now, if you want to create a system user, then the command is add user space. You have to use the option double hyphen system and then name of the user you want to create. Let's give it name system user. So this is how you can create a system user. Now, if you want to switch to the user we just created, the command is su. Su stands for switch user. So we created a user test user, right? So if you want to switch to this user, you just mention su space name of the username test user. So currently the user is root. Now I will switch to test user. Enter. Now you can see the user is test user. Correct? Now let's go back to root user. And now if you want to switch to system user, then again su system user. This is a system user, so it will go to your system. I misspelled something. Let me copy from here. Then su enter. If you can see, we have moved to bash. That means it's a system user. Let's go back to root user. So this is how you can add user and switch to other user. The next command we are going to learn today is cp. Cp stands for copy. This command is used to copy files or group of files or a directory, right? It creates an exact image of a file on a disk with different file name if you want to give. And cp command requires at least two file names in its argument. Correct? Two, at least two means one source, one destination, minimum two files. There could be one, two, three, four, many sources also. So let's try to learn this command. Let's see what is its syntax. Okay, I did not mention here. Let's see. cp space source destination. So let's create any directory first. mkdir abc. I have created a directory abc. Now let's go switch to directory ABC. In this, let's create a file abc.text. I am abc text file. This is the content. Oh, sorry. Now let's go back to switch to OPT folder and create a new directory mkdir xyz. This one is empty, right? I'm not going to put anything in this directory. Now let's try to copy directory abc to directory xyz. So the syntax is cp. We'll use the option recursive because we want to copy the content which this directory has. So we use recursive, that is -r, and then content of abc to xyz. Enter. Now let's, so we created, if you remember, I told you xyz is empty. So now let's go switch to xyz and see what contents xyz has now. So to see the content of xyz, the command is list ls-lrt. Now xyz has abc inside it because we moved abc to, we copied abc in folder directory xyz. Correct? So this is how we can copy files from one directory to other directory. Okay, so next command we will learn today is mv. mv stands for move. Let's see what is the syntax of mv. mv space option space source and then space destination. If the destination file does not exist, it will be created. If the file exists, then it will be overwritten and the source file will be deleted. By default, mv does not prompt for overwriting the existing file. So be careful. Otherwise, you will overwrite it and then you will try to find that file and you will not find it. So now let's see and learn with an example. Sorry. So mv all in smalls, mv. If you want a prompt, then use option I. Now when you will use I option with it, it will prompt. Do you really want to copy something like that or move it? mv hyphen I. Let's move abc to xyz. But xyz we already have this content of abc. So let's create jkl. Now a new directory we are in xyz already. Let's go to opt folder first. So mv hyphen I for the prompt, abc to new directory jkl. Since jkl does not exist, so it will be created and abc directory will be moved forever. Enter. So now if we see the content of opt folder list, you will see now abc does not exist anymore here. Now jkl has been created, and now if we switch to jkl and see what it has, list, it has abc.txt which we created in abc directory earlier. So this is how we can move from one destination, one source to other destination by overwriting or creating a new directory. Next command we will learn today is find. Find. Use find command to search for files within a specific directory and perform subsequent operation. So syntax for find is, let's go to our presentation again. Find where to start searching from, then expression determines what to find, then some options, then what to find. So let's try to understand this with an example. Find, we are in jkl folder, right? Let's go to opt first. Okay, here find in opt folder. If you want to search within the same directory, your current working directory, you will use dot space we'll use the option name, and then we'll search for all the file which has extension txt. Enter. We found nothing. Why so? Oh, I forgot to give wildcard. We are searching for all the files which has extension .txt. So now you can see it is showing all the files which has extension txt. So this is how you can find within your working directory by specifying some expression. Similarly, there is one more command, that is which is grep. The grep filter searches a file for a particular pattern of characters and displays all lines that contain that pattern. So syntax for this grep command is grep space options. Like there are many options, but commonly used options are hyphen grep hyphen l. Let's search for some text world. Correct? World. We put star means from everywhere. Enter. Now these many text files has word world in it. Combined file, and then test1, test2, test3, they all have word world in them. This is why this command has identified these files. So this is how we can grep. If you want to show the count that in how many files this word is present, then the command is grep. Again, the option which we will use is C, and again world star. It is showing in combined file.txt. This command found word world twice, in jkl 0, in star example tar example 0, tar example dot tar 0, and test1.txt 1 time, test2.txt one time again, and test3.txt one time more. So this is how you can show the count of numbers of matches. So this was our last command for today. We'll cover the remaining commands in the next video. I hope this video was helpful. Also, you can watch the previous video in the playlist to learn some more Linux commands. I'll also share link of that video in the description. And please do not forget to subscribe the channel, share it with your friends. And if you have any feedback or questions, please leave your message in the comment box. And see you all very soon.